Hello and welcome to a book review today on figure drawing. I think that this book called Figure Drawing by Peter Jenny is really good. It offers some interesting and really fun approaches into the world of figure drawing. So have a seat, have a coffee and enjoy the book review. Before I start this flip through here, I would like to mention that if you're interested in improving your drawing skills, I have a whole playlist dedicated to that subject. And I also have a whole playlist dedicated to Betty Edwards, a couple of her excellent exercises called Summer School with Betty Edwards. Let's check this out. Figure Drawing by Peter Jenny. Learning to See. Let's just see when it's from. It's from 2012, so a couple of years on it. Here you see the introduction. I think I'll go through a couple of the exercises, not all of them. And in the end, I'll of course demonstrate 3 exercises that I choose. Let's see here. Mirror exercise. This one I have read about a couple of times. I still don't get it, so I'll skip that. Okay, number 2, recollect. You can pause the video here and read. So the idea of this approach here is that have a certain idea of an object. It could be a game piece, as in this example here, or like a chess piece. It could be any other object, like a imagined glass or so, whatever. And then try to draw it as good as you can out of pure imagination and really get it down on the paper, how you visualize that exact piece. And just keep going until you have it as precise as you can. It's a really good exercise to do, I think. Let's see here. Hold. Now hold this exercise. You need some matches and then you break them into smaller parts. And then you kind of put a paper on top of the matches and then you can make figures by scribbling over the forms. Kind of interesting. Good for proportions, I guess. This is why the book is also good. You see these examples here of the writer. Doodle is where you make some random doodles, and from those doodles you make figures. So for those of you who like to work more freely, this will be a good exercise. You can also use ink, I see. Write, number 5. Here you write figures, first with flowing unbroken lines, then with bold simple brush strokes. The lines of the figurative forms, dynamic in the first case, incisive in the latter, move between these 2 extremes. Try to investigate the overlapping of handwriting and drawing. So also seems like a continuation of the doodle here. So using simple strokes here, you can actually do quite a lot of interesting figures, dynamic here. Letter here, you write letters using the body as a kind of obstruction. Just skip a few pages. Number 7, form. Use a spiral motion to draw volumes that expand and contract. Begin with this exercise without any specific content in mind. While spiral lines are more suited to round shapes, you can also use them to develop other forms. Now this exercise reminds me a bit of Kimmo Nicolaides' weight drawing, which I also made a video about. It's really excellent for creating volume, I think. And I use it in my work as well, when I sketch, for instance, to have the sense of depth and overlapping. These are also very beautiful. Moving on to number 10, Skeletonize. I have a video about this, or demonstration later in this video, so wait to check that out. Let's skip a few. This one's also quite fun. Number 12, miniaturize. Use a pointed pencil or a sharp pen to draw figure after figure into the paper's grids. So you need a paper with grid. Try to create as many poses as possible, and then you can enlarge them later on. Here you can see, using this grid here, you can make so many figures, like iteration. Just make as many as you can, and then you can enlarge them and use them maybe in some work. And I think this is really also very good exercise. It kind of liberates you, I think. Reminds me of Where's Waldo books. Constructs. Cylinders, balls, and cubes are basic geometric shapes that can be employed as building materials to construct figures. Draw a few body parts from memory, being aware of you may choose to work with a model of this exercise. Also excellent if you want to work in animation or illustration, I think. A good way to also visualize how things work together in volume. This one I also have a demonstration of in the end of this video. Fragment I will also have a demonstration of. So let's move on to number 17. What do we have here? Without stopping to think, create random patterns with lines or blotches. Next, draw figures into these random patterns. This journey of discovery can also be conducted with a camera by drawing figures onto photographs. Now this looks as if he's found a lot of things, figures in textures, such as asphalt here, walls, in the snow. I actually also do that once in a while. Sometimes I just see a figure or like a pattern that fits perfectly for a pose or a composition. You can also use draw figures out of random patterns here, as you see. Let's take a last one here. Okay, this one also. Develop, number 19. Improve a drawing of a body pose through repetition. Select a single body movement, an activity, or an object like a ball or flight of stairs. This specificity allows for greater precision. See the drawing as a process of development. Select the pose, draw it, and refine it in subsequent versions. So if, as an example, you have here a figure climbing over a wall, and then you kind of do it over and over again. See how many you can kind of make. Reminds me also of the one with repetition. So I think I'll let that be for now. So a quite interesting book for people who want to improve your figure drawing. Now you've seen that, and you can now move on to see the 3 chosen exercises that I'll do now. And until next time, folks, have fun drawing. Okay, so welcome to the second part of this video where I'll go into 3 different exercises of this book here. The first one I want to try out is the one called Skeletonize, and you can almost already see here from this drawing here what it's all about. It says here, magazines and catalogs offer an amazing opportunity to conduct anatomical studies. True. Look for the structural lines of the human body and draw them where you think they belong. Draw on tracing paper so the figures are independent of the photographic context. You can change the traces in scale or adapt them to fit your imagination. And you have, as always, a couple of examples here, which I think is great. So it's actually a very few lines that define them, and you can of course move on, and if you know something about the human skeleton, you can get in some details there. So I want to try it out now, and I have here my own or my wife's catalog. So I'll try to make this figure here. I don't have tracing paper at the moment, so I think I will just, draw her as I see her using those simple lines as Peter Jenny here has told us we should use. So let's see how that goes. Let's have a sip of coffee first. Okay, so I have the head here. I just wanna, I don't know, this is just a habit. The eye line. And then the neck. Going down like this. I suppose the spine goes a little bit down that. And the hips, maybe like that. Now the first leg. So. And the other leg goes down here. Here I just had a second go at the Skeletonize exercise here, just taking a closer look or like a close-up of this woman here, and I found it quite interesting, her pose with the hands. It's always difficult to draw hands, especially hands grabbing stuff. So for me this was really good to kind of getting into practicing how you hold things, getting into how does hands grasp things, the whole volume of this bag. So a great exercise. You can make all kinds of poses and adapt the things you find to the pose that you're working on. Okay, number 14, surround. So this is really interesting. This is an exercise that I use a lot in the drawing school where I teach, and I also use it a lot to practice because it's all about drawing the things that are around the object that you see. And the interesting things that happen when you draw the negative space is that you get really, like, your eyes get trained in what's also there in the figure. You always so concentrate on the positive. So drawing the things that are around the figure is really good. It's hard to explain. You kind of have to try it. And I also made a video about it where one of the exercises is drawing the negative space. So in this case here, I drew this guy also from the catalog here. And especially like for the elbow and the shoes and the pants, I was made aware of form. Also the way that his chin is angled when looking upwards. All those little things is something that you get to see, get to know, experience when you draw the negative space. And as shown here, you can also draw the negative space of many other objects that you have in your household. The last exercise that I'll dive into is called Fragment, number 16, where the whole deal is, again, find a photograph, find a piece from a catalog, go on your phone, find something, and then you draw the fragments. Draw only the parts of the body that are left uncovered by clothes. And here Peter Jenny welcomes tracing, so be aware that you can not cheat, but just trace. It's not cheating. It really helps us as artists to work on practice. And I think this was a really fun exercise. Here I drew the body parts of my children, of other things. I also drew my leg here, and I tried to, as it tells us, to vary a bit in scale. I also tried to do full silhouettes here with a brush pen. And I think it was kind of interesting. And again, just as in the case with the Skeletonize approach where I drew this hand, I got a lot of good value of drawing hands, or just like focusing on one part of the leg or the hand. It's really helpful because sometimes you get all caught up in drawing the whole part. So Fragment was nice welcoming into going more into detail, get my eyes into something and focus on that. So my overall thoughts on this book, it's a great book, especially if you feel intimidated by drawing the human figure. Although some of the exercises we have seen before, such as the surrealist approach and the Kimon Nicolaitis inspired way of drawing with the coiling, circling, I think Peter Jenny offers us some really interesting and fresh, creative, playful approaches into how you can approach figure drawing. I think it's both a book for beginners who just started out, but also for more experienced drawers who want a fresh approach to things. And it nudges us to go further into anatomy and movement of the body. It nudges us to be bolder, and in the end, it simply nudges us to start drawing, which is the strongest quality of the book, I think.